right, welcome back, everybody, to another Star Wars comic show here from CBSI. We don't have Mike this week, but I still got Ben. We don't need Mike. We can get by without him this week because I think we're going to hit a topic he might not be that into. And our topic for this week is Star Wars comics to not buy now. Not at these prices. We can't in good faith tell you to go get these books. Not that we're saying these are bad books. Just don't buy in at these prices. I just can't in good faith tell you to do that. You want to know what books we're talking about? We'll tell you about it in a minute. But first, please like, subscribe, hit the alert button. Make sure you don't miss any of the content that we got going. Make sure you go over to comicbookinvest.com. Check out all the content we got over there, too. And hang on for a second, and we'll be right back to tell you the stuff that you shouldn't be buying right now. All right, so I know you guys waited all of 15 seconds for this, but here we are with the first book that I picked out to say, it's not I think it's a bad book. I just can't tell you go and pay these prices for Knights of the Old Republic 9. I get it. It's Revan. He's in there a few panels. I'm not arguing cameo first, any of that stuff. I'm not arguing any of that stuff. I just can't, in good faith, tell you for a few $100s to go buy this book. It's just too pricey right now. I just can't. I mean, if you do it, you do it. That's on you. And if you find it for cheap, God bless you. But it's just tough.
And if you're buying it at these prices, Peter did not endorse it. I agree with you here. I think that this book, man, nothing but love for Topher, who pointed it out way back when to everyone, like, hey, heads up, this book's going to go bonkers because it is the first full Revan. And I only say full because we all want to argue the robed appearances and Zero and the 6 that people go, no, it's not. Yes, it's Revan. Yes, you get multiple panels of him. You even get him talking. It's not Darth, and he's robed the entire time. The book to buy is 42, but this is not what books to buy right now, is it, Peter?
No, it's just not at this. Yes, this was a book to buy when it was cheap. Yes, this might even have been a book to buy when it's like, man, this got kind of pricey. This thing's like 40, 50 bucks. This is not a book to buy for a few $100s because I just can't see the ceiling going much higher than that. I could be wrong. I've been wrong plenty of times before, but you're on your own if you decide to play that game. That's all I'm saying. I play in the low. That's why I do dollar bin digging for a reason. I'm a cheap bastard. I play down here. You go ahead and play up there if you want. That said, your next book is an interesting one too, which I'm sure a lot of people are going to be like, what?
The time to buy a book is not when it's at the height of the hype of the hype. This is an AF-15. And for all the people that are like, oh, I've been burnt out. In 2013, I repeatedly told myself that 4.0s for AF-15s were never going to appreciate past the 10 grand mark that they were getting at that point, and that there was no meat on the bone. That's not the situation. This book lay dormant forever, ever. And part of me is bitter because I sold all my copies. Yes, this book's forever a key. Yes, everyone who's a Star Wars collector and really wants to be into it should have this book. But right now, it's just not the time. We're starting to see a market correction. We're starting to get books coming back down. People have stacks of this book. Give it a little while. Give it a little while. Patience. Let people get off the unemployment. Let people get back to work. Let people have to sell books and take lower prices. Then you Scooby-Doo a copy.
Yeah. I didn't Scooby-Doo a copy, but I did buy this book somewhat recently, but I bought it in a lot because it was just, it was part of a lot because I wanted 1 through 6. So I got 1 through 6 out of it. But again, I did it at a price I was comfortable with, which was below this market because that's what you can do. Not to say you can't buy any of these books now at below market. You still can. You just got to be patient and you got to be lucky in a lot of cases. You got to be lucky to find the timing to be the first one to see it, first one to get to it. That's just a matter of the state of things. It's just don't pay top of the market. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense unless you just like throwing away money. Go ahead. That's on you. It's your decision. But that being said,
next book.
Our next book is another one that thankfully I was able to get in at a decent price, and you still might get lucky here and there. When I looked at some sale prices on this, you can still scoop one up for a decent price. Saw like one of these for like $70 not that long ago. But for, again, a few $100s for this little digest-sized book, I just can't endorse it. I know, Darksaber. I know, Bo-Katan. I get it, but hundreds of dollars or $1,000 like 8.0s, like I can't tell you go spend that. I just can't. But if you find it for a decent price, something you're willing to pay, go ahead. I'm not saying it's a bad book. I like it. I'm glad I have one. But some of the asking prices on this stuff is just way too high for me.
I agree. It's too high for me too. Thankfully, I own the original art for the cover.
Oh, awesome.
Along with my buddy Topher. Yeah, we went in on an investment. So I'm just going to leave it at that and go to the next book.
Yeah. The water's just too deep, though. The water's too deep on some of these asking prices. I can't swim in that
Even
pool,
the
man.
completed, like you said, most of the completed, you get out of there at 80, you're great. Other than that, hold back, man. Hold back.
Yeah, like
My bounty hunter's 14.
Woof.
All right. Another one not to be
You got one more.
taking in right now. This feels like the most obvious book on the list to me. Honestly, out of the 4 books we've shown, this feels like the, hey, don't buy the book that has the show about to debut. Like, that's all I get to say. Like,
well, that's all you need to say. And that's also why we had to do this today when we didn't have Morello with us, because Mike would argue with us all day. He's like, no, there's still room. It's like, Mike, no, somebody's asking $2,000 for a raw copy of this book. No.
greedy little pigs.
Like, there are some crazy prices.
9 4s are under $1,000. That's astronomical. Is this a forever key? Yes. Is it time? Like, it's never the time to buy a book that has a show about to debut. And I'm going to get stuck in a loop, so I'm going to stop. Yeah,
you got the ebbs and flows. I mean, everybody talks about these ebbs and flows. Like, there's some secret like formula to work here. It's just, you can see it in front of you. You can see, does it look right to pay the $4,000 asking prices for 9/8 for this right now? I don't think so. $20,000 for the variant on this one in 9/8? I get it. It's an impossible book. It was my dream pick. I'd love it. But some of these prices are just way too high. Too many people with too much money to burn. I think all the GameStop people burned through all those GameStop profits by now, didn't they? Like, I can't tell you to go buy this book at some of these prices. Again, if you find it for a price you can afford, go get it. Absolutely. But the prices aren't where anybody can go get it right now.
No, 9/8 are the asking prices are stupid.
Yeah.
The completed prices, there are no cheap copies sneaking through.
Not of this one.
3,500 in 9/8. It is 1,500 in 9/6. And if you're buying a 9/4 slab, nothing against nothing, but like, man, there's better books to buy for $1,000.
You could use that money in a better situation right now, because everything will correct. Everything goes through a price correction at some point.
Especially after the show, Anyway, before we get out of here, we got to ask everyone to do us a favor. Hit that like button. Make sure that you're subbed to the channel. We know you already are, but if you're not, just in case, hit that button for us.
And tell a friend to do it too.
Exactly. Tell 2 friends. What the hell? Head over to comicbookinvest.com, where you'll find endless Star Wars resources from just about everyone at CBSI. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, we'll see you next week.